All right, and I think I'm live. Did that catch me picking mine? Just kidding. Was I picking my nose on there? Let me go over to the YouTube side. Let's see if that showed up over here, or maybe I'm on the wrong stream. I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably on the wrong stream. I'm probably on. Let's see. Am I live? Yeah, I'm live. Yay! There I am. I am live. There I am. Okay. Let's see if I can click on that. What an easy route. Take me less than 15 minutes to get over to where I need to be on a Sunday night here. Let me make sure I turn this down. Boom, right there. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in Sunday evening, the 10th. No, it's the 9th of February, 2020. Yes, I'm smiling away. There's D. D. Had a nice conversation with D. I am getting excited. I think we got some adventures ahead. I'm going to get to that in a little while. We had a real nice convo today. We had a lot of laughs and stuff. How you doing, Boston Kitty Cat? What an honor to have you on here, Lucky Beans. Hello, Jewel. Craig, thank you for your nice Gmail today. Appreciated. Nocturnal Denizen and Rambling Van. Lord, I was born a rambling van, trying to make Lisa Marie the best that I can. I'm busting up my hands on a daily basis. I don't even get a friggin' beer. My day was really, really good. Hello, Mouse Toes. Hello, Smooth. We had a good day today, guys. I'm not going to be on super long tonight, but I wanted to come on. Nice to see you, Smooth Operator Mr. X in the house. Looking forward to seeing Mr. X in Chicago this summer as I get ready for my travel plans. And last night somebody came on the side side of troll. It's like, oh, you'll probably do the same exact thing as you did in 2019. Well, I won't mind doing that. Well, I had a great 2019. Today is my Aunt Juana Verdin's birthday today. Well, happy birthday to you. Hello to her. Hello, Joe Smith Nellen. Nice to see you. Axel, I asked you to send me a Gmail. I never got one. I can make it like new at gmail.com. I can't go in there fishing for channels, but I will be very happy to unblock if I just have you send me a Gmail. I can make it like new at gmail.com and I will make sure that you are unblocked. Missy, how are you, sweetie? Nice to see you this evening. And I hope everybody's doing well. Just make sure I don't miss anybody. I've got the dump here. I don't know what that's all about. I didn't see anything. I didn't see any Gmails about it. So the only thing I can think is maybe it went into my spam folder, which I will check, Axel. I will double check that. I get a lot of people, not a lot, a few people a day end up on the block list. But at the end of the month, yeah, let me put my Gmail. How you doing, Ava? I can make just like it sounds. It like new at gmail.com. There it is. Thank you, Mouse Toes. There it is. I'm in a happy mood. You know why? Day after day, it is so sunny outside. Not been a drop of rain for weeks and weeks and weeks. Getting close to bikini weather. I'm a little blurry, baby. Dee, have you been drinking or doing something tonight? Just joking. Let me go ahead and see if I can adjust the camera here. Let me go ahead and see if I can, sometimes the autofocus has a mind of its own. Although I have been happy, I've not disconnected my stream, except for stupidity I may have done knocking out the webcam and things. Let me see if I can adjust the focus. Let me keep 72 people on hold, autofocus. Let's see if we've got a clear Rosie now, huh? How's that? I haven't been drinking. You know, I haven't. Let me see. Am I already disconnected on here? No, I'm good. Okay, there we go. I'm getting a warning that I'm already getting some. Let me get this back on here. Trying to get things back on track takes forever. I don't know. I'm the person that always has stuck with Streamlabs religiously from day one. I think am I okay now? Hey Maggie, how you doing? Hey Dave, just call me Oz. Thank you, Deb. Is it clear now? Is it looking clear? Little on the wild side. Yeah, yeah. Dee's like, yeah, yeah, Rosie. It looks better when you brush your mop on. Well, you know, now that Dee's watching the stream more, I gotta, you know. Hey, God of Destruction, how are you? Ava says we are. Hey, Charlotte, we're getting battered by storms. Sierra here in the UK, 98-mile-an-hour winds and severe flooding. You know what? I was reading today. Yes, we will have big streams. I was reading today in the news that a jetliner from, I don't know where it was, from London to New York set a new record. I think they were on the jet stream was from New York to London was so strong that they were doing like 800 miles an hour. Now, if you've ever been airline travel, which I have done well over 250,000 airline miles, you'll know that you're usually going along about 400 to 600 miles an hour. So when you're riding a jet stream at about 800 miles an hour, short of being strapped to a rocket or being fired out of a cannon or riding a bullet, that's about as fast as you're going to go on planet Earth. So I knew the jet stream was whipping. We had winds last night. Hi, Catherine. We had winds last night that came in here like a freight train at about 1:30 in the morning. Had we had the hangout still going on with that big fire roaring, I am convinced we would have had a raging fire around here. That's how strong. That's how strong the winds were last night. So you know, I don't know about global warming and all that stuff, guys. I just don't know. I'm not an expert, but I do know the weather is really creepy. I do know that. So let's see. Craig says I watched your full trip from Missy Jan from Missouri. Going through that blizzard was white knuckling. Yeah, and then when Dee and I were traveling through Cheyenne on the way to Cheyenne, Wyoming, Craig. Hi, Susie. We hit something that was even worse, the worst conditions I've been in. I remember it was summertime, right? But it doesn't matter in Wyoming. It was hailing, and we had hail that was like 6 inches deep on the road. It was phenomenal. And I told D, you know, these 18 wheelers, these truckers, they're not slowing down on I-80, and I'm starting to get these warnings on my dashboard, slippery road condition, you know, little zigzag. I've never seen that before. And I started hydroplaning and stuff, and I told D, man, if we spin out, the only thing we can do is dive out of the car and just jump off the side of the bridge overpasses or something, because we're going to be taken out. We're going to be a hood ornament on an 18 wheeler, and it's terrible because they'll pass you doing 80 on 80 in this violent weather, and they kick up all kinds of tremendous waves of water that are hitting your windshield. You cannot see. Okay, if I missed anybody, apologize. RV Fat Cat, how you doing, baby? I love my RV Fat Cat. I hope to God I'm able to meet up with her out in the West. We got to cook something together, honey. We have got to cook a goose or something. Got some chickens we can run around and catch at the trailer park there, or do something like that. That was a hectic stream. That was scary, and I think Dee agreed that was super spooky. Now imagine D being on a scooter. Now he's like, Rosie, fucking dumbbell. You think I would be riding the scooter in that crap? Well, you might, D. Be like, no, my ass be under the overpass underneath of the bridge or something like that. But it was crazy. Hello, Jero. How you doing? Hello, Sandy. Yeah, there was a lot. We've been through a lot of stuff. D and I have been through a lot of. We've been through a lot of tough scrapes. I remember, and not to dominate the chat tonight, but we were out there in Salt Lake, and I demanded that D was always talking about, Rosie, you'll never know how bad it was when the bus broke down multiple times coming from Washington down to Las Vegas. You know, we had two buses broke down, and finally we ended up in Las Vegas, broken down in Vegas, and they stuck us in they stuck us in this freaking Econo Lodge motel, and it was terrible, and there was tweakers everywhere, and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! And then when I'm hearing D's like this was bad. Now D is the Detroit Crusher, right? I mean, he's not going to be afraid of anything, but he's like, Rosie, I'm going to tell you, this is really bad. I'm like, man, yeah, I know, yeah, it's bad. I've done street chooching and stuff. We hit the street. I was already partially dehydrated. He bailed my ass out. Yeah, Salt Lake City, Utah. I mean, it was Salt Lake City on West Temple over there. Broke down on the way. His bus broke down on the way to Las Vegas. And I told him, yeah, okay, tough guy. We got out there that night, and it was the closest I've ever come to deploying the pepper spray there on West Temple. He's like, I told you so, and that chick got up in my grill and wouldn't let. She was like a pit bull that just laid into me, and now it's pretty crazy. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Hello, reality checks for all. Nice to see you. Yeah, we're not in Oz anymore. So, he's always been a great chooching partner to me, and we've always been able to crank out the content. And another thing too is he's not a foodie, and I don't mean that in a negative sense compared with Elvis. And these guys are getting along good now. Knock on wood. Okay, my prayers have been answered. Elvis did a thing. It's 2020. New beginnings, new horizons. Yay. Okay, so they're getting along good, but there's a difference, right? These like, hey man, if it's $4.99, we'll eat it. Okay, we'll give it a try. What's the worst that happened? We're walking along, we're puking our guts out on the walk tonight, but okay, we had a $4.99 feast or something like that. And Marshall's taking, like, hey, I just don't walk into a place. I got to get on Yelp, and I've got to do my research. You think I just walk in? You think I remember Berkeley? He hated that Mediterranean place that had the platter there. He says, I don't just it sucked, and then he went to have the rotten chicken shawarma or whatever, and of course I got to blame. You rushed me. I couldn't do the research. D's like, let's just get a burger. Denny's is cool. I got no issue at all. Yeah, there we go. Gil McLovin, Black Bigots on the way to the Rancho for TLC to recover from coronavirus. Well, it looks like the Shine Shack's going to be a busy residence. I guess we should dedicate that to Boyd. The Boyd's winter retreat out here on the place. So we had it really, really, really windy out here. We're tentatively scheduled to meet up in Las Vegas sometime on the week of the 23rd of February. In the interim, I have a few small trips I'm going to do. Did a little bit of work on the van, putting the white panels up in the van and trimming them. Now, there's really not much to do. We're just kicking the tires and kicking a few things around. Actually, pretty much on schedule to wrap up the van build this week and do some local stuff. So I'm hoping, You know, the nice thing about D is, hey, I'm going to work. I'm going to put some, I got a nice job lined up. I'm going to work for a couple weeks, put some jingle in my pocket. He works for an exceptional person I really like. I'm not going to disclose who it is, but it's going to be a chance for him to put a few bucks in his pocket. We get back to Vegas, we'll mix it up. We'll do a few different things too. But we'll do some of the things that we're known for doing, pop-up parties, things like that. You know, we're going to have a crap load of laughs and stuff like that. So, come to visit in a few weeks. Do you have other people to chooch with in different marriages? Great, but D doesn't do it for some. Just an honest opinion. Well, um, for me, D has been an exceptional. There's you know, he's a good looking guy. It's not sexual magic, okay? All right, I'm just saying, when you're traveling with D, you're feeling good, you know. When you're out there, there's a certain chemistry there. There's a certain video chemistry there on live streaming in particular. Like I like to see D when he's a little messed up looking in the morning, coming down to the table to get his morning, you know, have his coffee and stuff like that. It's all good. It's all good, fun stuff down there, and he certainly is fun to be around with at night. He's in pretty good health too, you know, and now he tells me he's lost some weight for walking. And as you guys know, I can walk a lot of miles. We like to stop at 7-Eleven. We both like to brown bag a beer or have something like so. It's a lot of fun. See, Kevin says the only thing that goes good with the coronavirus is Lyme disease. Well, I'm going to tell you what. Thank you, Reality Check. Hey, howdy, Dave. I'm going to tell you what. The coronavirus is pretty much going to empty out Vegas, right? The reservations for high-end Asian visitors have collapsed. The reservations in Macau, which is the big gaming center of China across the Pearl River from Hong Kong, is collapsed. Okay, so that means there's great deals to be had in Las Vegas. And the chances of getting sick are probably less in Las Vegas than they're going to be in your town. Coming up to tell you. Okay, I mean, we're tough, man. We're tough. We're built street tough, okay? D says D before coffee is scary. I don't mean looking at D is scary, but just you know, getting D. It's like starting an engine. Lawnmower. You got to pull the cord a little bit, and then he's ready to roll. So I haven't chooched with him since God, I don't know, August or something like that. That's a long time, and I think we kind of committed to hang out where possible through the summer and do some things. He gets himself in a good position where he can get some work lined up no matter where he is, and that's a good thing. And I may take a place, you know, I've been offered, some other people have stepped forward and said, if you're coming through this town or that town, we'd be glad to put you in an Airbnb for a week or, you know, a short term, you know, a short stay motel or something for a week. So that would be good. Yeah, more people have died from flu. At last count, I did my video a week ago. 10,000 people had already died from the flu in the United States. Okay, and there were already 10 million people affected. So although coronavirus is big doings, the regular influenza is worse. Amy, how you doing, babe? How are you doing? We actually able to hang tonight without hanging along? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's all good. I don't imagine oh no, it's the corona. The coronavirus has got me. The coronavirus has got me. So anyway, I'm definitely looking forward to that. If my hope is that Marshall and Dee will be able to meet sometime in the next, hopefully in the next month or so. And you know what? Once the rule is, once people meet in real life on YouTube, they always have a much better. They always. I don't know of many relationships that really ever fall out once you meet somebody in real life. So I'm looking forward to their their meetup on there. So hey Cheryl, how you doing? Um, watched him. Tom Ray. He's afraid to watch last. Well, Tim, I think he recognizes I need to be on my way. Now, I'm not averse to being around here, but I need to do a few overnight excursions. He's either welcome to come with me or not. I would like to go down to Point Reyes Station. You guys enjoy that. I know Billy Boy, the mayor of Point Reyes down there. It's a place I'd like to do some outdoor cooking. It's also a very relaxing place, and it's a place of incredible beauty. You know, he can go down and see the earthquake trail where the Great San Andreas Fault split occurred in 1906 that separated the earth some 14 feet. They still have the fence that got split in two and separated. I mean, it's a very interesting thing. You can actually feel the ground rumbling when you're around, walking right on the. So there's a lot of cool stuff to do down there. And I would like to also do an overnighter in Petaluma and do some cooking. And so, you know, I want to get built up to being on the on the road again. My hands are sore, and I need to give them a chance to really heal. And the only way, every time I get them better, uh, you know, no matter what, I wear gloves or whether. When you're older, you just have thinner skin, and it's easy to get hurt hands. And I've had it. I'm tired of it. Okay. It's been a big project. Yes, San Diego. San Diego will be here. San Diego, Lisa, will probably be from early March until early April, will be the San Diego, Mexico window down there, which will be very exciting. That perhaps Clint says maybe this time you'll visit the mole people. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go to underground Las Vegas, and it takes a lot of guts to get in there with a camera, and you better hand out a lot of money. You better be like the Pied Piper, throwing a shitload of money when you walk through there to keep everybody happy. I guess I just don't know. I just don't know. So there's a lot of stuff. Palm Olive Madge, that was it. Made eggs in the park. That was ballsy. Yeah, I'll cook. I'll cook in public park. I don't really care. You know. Yeah, I've called it the D Marie needs a new. It needs a new kitchen. There we go. The D Marie, the Lisa Marie. If it's in Mexico, it's the Lisa Maria down in Mexico. Down, yeah, thin. You cut our skin, and it sucks. Now the beauty is things are just about done. Okay, and we're in good shape. The garage is virtually empty. At one time, it was the workshop was just filled with panels and materials from the van, and you know, it's every time I go in now, it looks like it's almost being emptied out. So I would think, apart from our trips, it may push the travel to like the week of the 23rd, when he will be on his way to the Central Valley, and I will be on my way to Las Vegas sometime during that during that week in there. So okay, so that sounds pretty good. A day at the spa, man. I complain. I need a week at the friggin' spa. Okay, I need to live at. I need to move into the spa. Okay, I need massages front and back. I need everything. Okay, I need it all. Calgon. Yeah, well, I was told if Dee and I ever wanted to run a tour company, we could do non-traditional Las Vegas tours, get people to pay $50, assemble at about 8 p.m. at night downtown, and then take about 10 people down Chuchin through the east end of town. all down, get on a bus, a little short bus, take everybody down to the cemetery to do the Black Widow crawl and see the enormous homeless place over there. I mean, it could be a great thing. Chooching the old blown out motels and things like that could be a good time, and join a pop up party, right? And have a great time. Tim says, Rosie, I watched Elvis. Doesn't seem like he wants to leave you, honestly. Well, I think the big fear, yeah, that's it, Cheryl. I don't want to say Marshall's fear, but it's been very comfortable for him. He's achieved a comfort level here on the rancho that's been unsurpassed in the past 4 years within his, probably 5 years within his life. He's had all the comfortable accommodations of daily hot shower, comfortable in-law unit, place with refrigerator, ability to cook food, do hangouts, have power, lights, and it's been good, for him now. You cannot, I don't care what anybody says, Chicago's unlivable in a van until mid-March, in my opinion. Okay. I'm not hanging around till mid-March, and Marshall's not hanging around here till mid-March. Okay. He is interested in going to the Central Valley, Sacramento, Modesto, has the Assyrian community in Turlock and Ceres and places like that, and that's cool. Will he be welcome to go to Vegas? Of course he will. But the big thing is he does not have the money to throw in for gasoline when you have a rig that gets about 8 miles to the gallon. It's very costly to keep that on the road. Okay, so I mean that's the reality. You want to go someplace and set up shop. And he agrees that the best thing is, like D has, when you have a travel van, then your gas mileage can be very good. You can park the van somewhere in Chicago, the Lisa Marie, and use that as a permanent base, and then travel in a small van. Deb says, I like short shorts. Yeah, my shorts are pretty famous in Las Vegas. I'll say that. Cooking job. He loves to cook. So, so we shall see. I'm going to grab something to drink. I want to be right back with you guys. I'm going to have my one beer tonight. I'm not going to get tanked up. So the next thing is Tuesday night. We'll be having another epic chooch somewhere. I don't know where it'll be. Marshall, I do understand that he would like to see San Francisco. He's not seen that before. So maybe this Saturday we'll be dedicating a whole day to San Francisco, or maybe Friday doing that. I just don't know. So. See, recuperate and give a chance of future. You should, yeah. The van looks really good. We got the white panels. The blue panels have been changed out for the white panels in the back. They've been trimmed out with the blue trim on the white. With white buttons, they're going to look really, really good. He's changed out the material in the back of the upper berth bed that pulls out. Really nice blue with 3 white buttons on the back. It looks good. Hello, Jessica. So, he's getting a van back that's really in pristine condition on the inside of it. It's virtually not been lived in. The interior, the floor, everything's been done from gutting it, rust proofing the floor, putting down 2 layers of subfloor, a new dinette, a new bed in the back, cleaning, a new closet added, rebuilding under the refrigerator, pulling all new electrical through the coach. It's been a big job. It's been a big job, but the end result is he gets to push the reset button on a lot of things in life. Hello, Gypsy Mom. Nice to see you. This evening, did you know Jenny Lee lives with the mole people? I didn't know that, Gypsy. Now, Joe Smith, I don't speak about the engine and drivetrain because I took on this job with two conditions. Number one, I'm not going to crawl underneath of the van. Okay. And number two, it's basically mechanically sound in my opinion. I'm not an expert. I'm not ASE certified. I'm not bullshitting you guys, but I've done a lot of work on engine rebuilding. I've got a pretty good ear when it comes to things. And I think that the rig is good to go for thousands of more miles before there's any other incidents. Very even wear on all the tires. I've inspected the tires. He's been rolling on those tires for something like 6,000 miles. So if you had any uneven wear, caster or camber issues, toe in, toe out, angles of declination, then you would see that wear pattern on the tires. And I haven't seen that on the tires. If he changes the transmission fluid and puts a new filter in and puts the Lucas transmission treatment in, he will have a transmission that will never have a problem. If he does the same thing for the engine and puts the Lucas top cylinder conditioner and engine treatment in, I think his van could go another 50,000 miles, honest to goodness, on that. So that is just my opinion. That is just my opinion. But I'm not going to be crawling on it. It was enough that I had to pull wiring for the grill lights and all the other crap to to crawl under the van and zip tie crap on and all that. So yeah, I'm talking about an engine with a donut on my tit. Yes, donut worry. Okay, donut worry. Lavender must be feeling better. Must be feeling better on here. Elvis will have severe anxiety, lifestyle replica, transition back to the real. I think he'll be happy this spring and summer. He can get back to Chicago. And I do believe that he will want to take very good care. Basically all of the velour is gone. And now if things are dirty, it's simply taking some 409 or some Windex and just spraying the vinyl and just wiping it down and things. And the floor, it's a rubberized floor. I mean, there's so many improvements that have been made. Let's see. Catherine says, every time I see a box truck, I see potential RV in my dreams with my deck being the lift. That's a pipe dream. Isn't that cool? Red Pill says all the Lucas trans fluid does increase the viscosity. No, it does a little more than that. It also lubricates some of the peels. It also lubricates some of the seals internally, and it also helps to get better seating of what's called the check balls within an automatic transmission. It does much more than increase the viscosity of the ATF. Okay, it does a lot more. It's a miracle. Miracle. Thank you, hematites. Am I saying that? Hematites? I'm not sure. Yeah, no more velour. So that's all gone, basically. So the big bugaboo we've had is the closet. I thought this accordion door would be of better quality, but it's really junk. So he's going to put a hanging curtain. Going to put a hanging curtain on there. So Southern, nice to see you tonight. I'm alive. I'm alive. I woke up this morning. I had 3 or 4 people before I even did my crazy morning thing. They're like, Rosie, are you alive? We're nervous. You know, Brian came by the rancho last night, and oh my God! And all we could think about is, should we send somebody down for a wellness check to pry up the floorboards in the rancho? And are you going to be out on a tree, dripping blood from every orifice or what? Hey, Vicky. And I'm like, oh my God, right? I mean, Brian was okay last night, it's it's my nature to be welcoming to people. I got a lot of blowback today about quite a bit about the inadvisability of allowing somebody to just come onto the rancho. I don't want to call it a gift, but I have an ability to almost immediately size people up within a matter of milliseconds as to whether what their intentions are. You know, I've been maybe because I'm old and I know people, I know human nature, I know, look at the neighborhood I live in. I've got people that walk down the street and they grab trash can lids and they throw them like frisbees and stuff. Okay, I mean I've got car alarms going off every 3 minutes every time a motorcycle goes down the street. I have people climbing fences and stuff. Okay, just randomly throwing bricks through windows, stealing people's light bulbs out of their front porch lights like mine. Okay, I know where I live. And I had, yes, discernment. Thank you, Complaint. There is a certain amount of discernment in that. So I immediately, when somebody comes up and they're smiling and they tell you, I know you from YouTube, and, you know, we talk to them at the fence a minute, and, you know, I'm the kind of person, hey, you know, don't stand there, come on around. And I wanted to take a good look at him in the light, and I invited him in to join us, and he spent a very pleasurable 2 hours. You never know in life where somebody stands in terms of where they're going and where they came from. In other words, you never know. One more bad encounter that somebody has, one more closing of a door, one more brush off, one more buzz off, get lost. You never know what effect that might have on somebody. Okay, but I do know that there's no downside except the personal safety, of course, but there's no downside to giving somebody a lot of upside and a cheerful welcome, put a beer in their hand, and sit down and enjoy the fire and just hang out a little bit. And you know, you could see, although Brian came in here with the weight of the world on his shoulders, he left a pretty happy guy last night, having enjoyed the encounter and experience. And you wonder how many times in his immediate past he's had that kind of feeling when he mills about. Let's face it, we see people on the street. We see somebody like Marshall that at that time was living in a sloppy van, and we're half filled with horror and sadness and compassion for that kind of thing. So yeah, where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Exactly. Um, so I'm the kind of person I'd rather take a shot and deal with the negative consequences that maybe the guy's a slasher. I don't know. But if you don't think that I take a couple moments to give myself a little extra dimension of protection, well, then you don't know me very well in that situation. I don't advertise to people like Marshall, but Missy, Jen, and I, we're not, we didn't just come in on yesterday's turnip truck. Okay, we've been around the block a few times here. So, yes, it was very polite. Thank you, RV Cat. I like that about you too. You're a very kind person and you're very engaging. Takes a very strong. Yeah, you got to smile when you don't want to sometimes. I was happy. Thank you, Complaint. Uh, I think so, Cheryl. I will agree with Cheryl says everyone behaves well on the property. They inevitably go back to their old behavior. I guess people have called me before on this, Cheryl, that one of my most famous lines that I'm most quoted by people is that a person cannot change their basic nature. Well, maybe you can with a lot of prayer and a lot of internal introspection. Maybe it's kicking drugs, kicking alcohol, kicking social media. I don't know, you know, but I know it's incredibly hard. I think when you reach a certain age, that your personality, your being is pretty much baked into a cake, and you cannot put a cake back in the oven and rebake it. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa, as do you. You have a wonderful heart. Oh man, Lavender said Missy's dad is back admitted to the hospital. Had a day from hell. Yeah, it's. I mean, Lavender, between you and her, I don't know, man. You guys go through a lot of crap. So I don't. Nowadays, my expectations are incredibly low for my expectations for people. Okay? The only thing I can leave people with the thought is if you ever hope to return, if you ever hope to enjoy the hospitality of the holiday season at the Rancho again and the delights of traveling in California and places like that, you'll think about how you conduct yourself and the the goodwill or the lack of goodwill that you may bring back to the Rancho here. Okay, that's a very important consideration. I've noticed a change come over Marshall, particularly in the last 10 days of slightly breaking a pattern of stopping leaving a trail of sloppiness and non-caring behind him. In other words, there's this new thing that's starting to occur now of cleaning up and putting. I didn't wash one dish last night, and usually the person that doesn't cook cleans last night. And before I knew it, he had everything all. There's been some change occurring. There's been some change in his spirit too, as evidenced by the apology to Dee on Friday, and the hope that things can start fresh. So I don't know. No guarantees here. But do I have any regrets about helping him restore the van? I don't have any regrets at all. There's been many times I've enjoyed his company here. It's been good to work together. He has learned a lot of new skills. When he came here, he really didn't understand saws. He didn't understand the need to have levels and to work with plumb bobs and to make things square and to use tools with confidence and not out of fear. Kind of holding, to engage your tools and use them and understand electricity. If you just take your time and understand what you're trying to do, it makes a lot of sense and things. So I think he has learned a lot. It could be Lavender, but I don't think he's under any illusions that it's gonna be much longer here because he knows I'm really anxious to get on the road. And what's more, he wants me to be on the road. He wants me to be happy. And if I'm traveling with him, that's great. If I'm visiting, if I'm hanging out with Dee, that's great too. If I'm meeting up with new people and being on the road, that's outstanding too. I've always told people if you can let me park in your driveway somewhere or let me sofa surf or something there, I'm a nice overnight guest. I'll make sure the shower doesn't have any clogs in it or anything. Cheryl's like, my lord, where do you hide those rose-colored glasses? Oh lord, yeah, it's time to move on. All good things come to an end, but at this point in time, he would certainly be welcome to come back and spend the holiday season here on the Rancho. Although my hope would be that I don't do another rebuild project. Would I help D with his van? Of course I would. I would do whatever I could to help out anybody, especially with electrical work. But I hope next, immediately after Christmas time, that I would be able to be on the, not Christmas, but yeah, just after New Year's, that I would be able to be on the road and traveling and hanging out in more warm locales. Jules says there's been a huge change. He never had anyone teach him and let him know it's okay. Just like if he's saving the branches of the yard, the time will be forever with him. Well, we don't ever know, Jewel. But if I feel good about myself, then that's the only thing I can concern myself about is did I do the very best that I could? Many a times I've lost patience with Marshall on things. He's not blown his top. He's not flipped out. I think a couple times I've probably been a bit harsher. And an apology is probably in order from me too. There's a difference. I've tried to tell him there's a difference between doing something and doing something with thought and quality rendered in the outcome of it. In other words, anybody can slap vinyl on top of a piece of wood, but are you going to take time to stretch it so it doesn't have any puckering, or it looks good and it doesn't have 5,000 staples hanging all over it? Just do enough to do the job and things like that. Hey, Hop Frog, thank you. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, so like I say, it's been an excellent kind of week, and you can understand why I'm excited to think. Meeting up with Dee for 4, 5, 6, 7 days could be a blast down in Las Vegas. And Dee might tell me, Rosie, you're an urban bitch. Okay, I know that. You're all about the city life. You like the ghetto 7-Eleven across the street. Let's face it, Rosie. It's like as much as you like to take videos of the most ghetto 7-Eleven, you love that. You love those places. That's your home. That's your comfort zone. Dealing with those kind of places, and it is. But I'll bet Dee's going to say this time, Rosie, let's go out to Red Rock Canyon. Let me take you out and show you some of the beauty that's outside of the city of Vegas. Let's check it out a little bit. Let me show you what the beauty of taking a hike is, or something like that. Now I'll be impressed. I'll be impressed, really impressed, if I'm feeling good and hiking around. Okay, that's cool, right? Can we go get a 6-pack now? What's up, Marshall? Can we do that? So it's all good stuff. So that's the plan. Hopefully, a few short trips with Marshall over the next 2 weeks. I'm not going to give him the boot off the property on the 12th. We're going to wrap up this van. I am going to ask him to go on these short jaunts overnights with me, maybe one a week, to take the Lisa Marie. They will not be long travels, but there'll be a good chance to do a little shakedown. Then we can try doing a little boondocking, a little bit of cooking in preparation for him potentially going off to the Central Valley in Sacramento, where I know he wants to make a lot of content. He's excited about that too. And then later we'll meet on, and maybe in March head down for me for a month to Southern California. Tijuana, San Diego, all down there, Imperial Beach. Then I come back in April for the Missy Jen's infusion, and then taking off for the East again. It'll be more of a whirlwind trip because I do want much more beach time and all that. Yeah, there it is. Dee said there's a wonderful place I do want to show you. That sounds sexual. It's like, just kidding, Dee's frightened now. I'm not coming to Vegas. Like I'm safer with Black Bigot than Rosie down there. How you doing, Velveteen? There you go, 4 scores, and then we're booked in 4 scores. We're back in Las Vegas in October. And 4 scores has promised me he's going to have more time to hang out poolside and do some fun stuff. Last time he was all into the gambling and chooching with his buddy. This time I think he'll be hanging out on the streets with. Please don't lose your keys. Exactly. Come on, Tom Finland. Come on. Did Brian punch you in the eye? No, it's probably just the lighting. It's just when that hangs down, it's got that 40s kind of movie star, Katharine Hepburn. Look. After a few gin and tonics. Spencer Tracy, yes, I love you. Yeah, RV is brave. I just love RV Fat Cat. She's been a hoot for years. I can't stand it when she steps away though for a while. I hate that. You get so attached to people, you want them to be here all the time. So he's like, it's not sexual. Get that charge pack for you. That was called the Imuto, Imuto. Look at the review I just did the other day on the Rosie Murphy channel. I just gave it a 2-year review with a link for it there. So, yeah, thank you. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm still alive. That's the deal on Brian there. Like I said, I'm not. Marshall's not getting the royal boot out of here. We are going to gradually start cleaning up and putting the Shine Shack, particularly in exactly the condition it was in before he arrived. Because I do have Tara. Tara's coming up to spend some time in May. And then I think there's going to be other people that are going to want out to come out and visit the rancho here, and I want to make sure that things are in good shape. I want to spend time with Janet and the boss. We'll have our spring fishing coming up, so there's a lot of things, a lot of things going on, a lot of things that'll be going on. So I'm looking forward to that. Well, Dee and I hit it good. People are different in life. um, Marshall deals with a very there's a sense of I don't want to say wonderment, but there's a sense of this is going to sound dumb, but you kind of don't know what's going to come out of his mouth next. Okay, so it's like whether he hits the panic button on the streets of Detroit or blows a tube in Chicago because his teeth, if he's finally had it with his teeth, and I'm taking off for Los de Algodones, or the Pride at the Ishtar restaurant in Sterling Heights and stuff. There's a certain fun that's connected with that, and is it a spontaneous type of fun? No, it's a different type of fun. With D, with D, and I'm sure with other people, it's more of a spontaneous uh, type of thing, and more of a willingness that whatever we're doing, we're having a good time. We're making content and having a good time, and they're very different in their very different in the approaches. How about Steve and Mike coming for barbecue? Well, they have to look me up, right? I'm not going to chase after anybody. I kind of thought maybe J.K. NoCal would pop down last night and have a couple beers. I would like Whiskey OG and Sean to be able to come down, and we could do a cookout and hang out at the rancho, have an overnighter. That would be pretty cool too. Was Hi Rosie, was dinner in tonight? Yes, Donna. I cooked up some of the fish I caught this summer. I fried that up a little bit, so I had that for dinner tonight. Yeah, panic in Detroit. Yeah, D is chill and comfy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to go fishing, RV Fat Cat? Yay! When are you gonna come out and visit me here on the rancho? Wouldn't that be a hoot? Can you imagine RV Fat Cat and I having a couple drinks around the fire pit? She'd be, it'd be like, who could get their clothes off first? Oh, no, no, no. Whiskey's not a hater. I have to respectfully disagree. Tim says Axel says whiskey hates Elvis. I know whiskey. No, 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 no. Whiskey's a lover. Okay, whiskey is a he's a real life person. Okay, we can't harbor we can't harbor those kind of feelings. No offense, Axel. I just think that I saw that D gave Blue Waffles a steak. So Vinny got his passport. He will be U.S. bound. He needs to be careful. He cannot push the envelope. You know, Vinny's the kind of guy who gets excited, and I don't want him to bite off more than he can chew. Have some targeted travel. You know, he's talking about Asia and then the U.S. and Europe and things like that. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but you know, Vinny is recovering from a stroke. I know he's lost a good bit of weight and he's probably in a much healthier place. But I would certainly encourage Vinny to maybe lower your sights down on travel a little bit and be able to breathe and enjoy yourself. Yeah, Missy Jen is fine. Missy Jen absolutely loves the peace and quiet. She has endured this van build, okay, with a very good heart and a very good spirit. So, you know, as far as what her future is, it will unfold for me as it does for you guys. As it is now, I can say that she's 100% happy being here. She's moved in new directions on her YouTube channel that she's incredibly happy doing the makeup stuff. She enjoys the packages come in. She understands what to do with them. I had no concept when that crap came in for me. So, yeah, we all want Vinny to be 100%. I like I like Vinny a great deal. Whiskey had me blocked right before I even came in his chat. You know my rep seems. Well, I'm not. Hey Goldie, how you doing? I'm not much for blocking people. Well, thank you, Axel. Uh, Things get said all the time on the internet, and we're in the middle of a really controversial time. There's a lot of bad stuff going on right now. There's apt to be some real upset coming up in the Boyd here, and there's going to be probably some people that are pretty shattered. And um, let's just say I think 2020 is going to be a year of very dramatic change here within our community. Some for the better, and some probably for the worse. So I think if you can deal with that with a good heart, then that's probably a good thing. Yeah, Donna says my prayer for 2020 is good health for all. And let's face it, 2020 has started out as a bitch. Okay, it's been a brutal year. We've had a high-profile tragedy of Kobe Bryant's death, along with 7 other unfortunate people on that helicopter. We have terrible disease, big storms, unprecedented weather conditions around the globe, winds and things like that. Uh, you know, there's a lot of, it's an election year coming up. There's a lot of unsettled things going on. I think people's confidence is starting to be shaken a little bit. It floored me as maybe it did you. And I loosely follow politics. I can't stand politics really because politics is no longer genuinely in its pursuit. It's greed driven. Compromise is impossible. When I was young, Democrats and Republicans compromised all the time, and they were able to work together. And they might not have bought each other's principles, but you didn't have this air of selfishness and hate that you have now. So I can tell you coming into this election year, it's going to be very unsettling. And for a lot of Americans, when you see a mess like unfolded in Iowa, where you can't even count the votes correctly that are coming in a primary election, I felt a little unsettled. I felt a little embarrassed. I felt a little third worldish about the things that when that kind of stuff happens. And I think to myself, we get a little bit fancy with technology sometimes. And when I was much younger, and all the voting I ever did was in cities where you would go in, pull a curtain behind you, and just pull levers, and it was pretty darn foolproof. Yeah, it would take a long time to get the results in from all places around Baltimore City. It would take a long time, but you never had that. You never had those screw ups like you have today. Jinxie, how you doing? Yeah, so I think that was a little shocking to me what happened in Iowa. Yeah, remember the dimple chads? I certainly do. I certainly do. Al Gore and George Bush. I remember that very well. All the way to the Supreme Court. You know, and there's always been this animosity, this deepening animosity uh, and rancor between the two parties. And I don't know. People like people. Some people say Trump really scares me. Well, people like Bernie Sanders scare me, to tell you the truth. Okay, people like AOC up in New York, and people like Nancy Pelosi. They scare the hell out of me with some of the things that come out of their mouths. Mike Bloomberg. Some of the things that comes out of his mouths are shocking to me. Yep, election times. Yep, elections matter. We wouldn't be able to. Yeah, miss you too, Jinxie. Nice to see you, baby doll. So, these big guys. So, pray. Well, Catherine, I hope it goes good. Trump supports workers. Did Marshall get angry? Here's Bob Sacamano. Bob's like, there won't be forgiveness in the Assyrian community for the way that that steak was made. Not yeah, I'm not into socialism. I mean, it's human nature and politics that we make the same stupid mistakes. We get to a period of relative prosperity, and we have this stupid idea of we're just going to legislate equality for all, and still instead of making it be worked for by everybody, and then socialism comes in. Let's just share the bounty, and then we have the inevitable horror of having to deal with the unwinding of that and the restoration of capitalism. It's an ugly cycle, you know. And unfortunately, when things go bad and stress comes in, people grab for big government and all that kind of crap. No solar panels. I'm not doing solar panels. I will say if they're purchased and somebody else is willing to crawl on top of the van, which I don't think is particularly suitable for a 61-year-old broad, even one is in such outstanding shape as I am, to mount panels on top of a van. I can certainly do the electronics, but I've yet to really see a big time payoff for solar with a lot of people. The money that they put in, the way they go through inverters and burn them up in charge controllers and batteries. I'm still not a believer. I'm still not a believer. Bully, how you doing? Politics is like trying to pick the least crazy relative to sit next to at a reunion. Yeah, when it's, yeah, I don't know. It's all, everybody. Yeah, that's right. Venezuela, our future. Everybody knows that a crack up. The inevitable is coming with with the scope of the national debt and all that. So, you know, it's going to be an interesting decade, the 20s. I can tell you that. Going to be a very interesting decade, in my opinion. It'll have a lot of challenges to it, and we don't really know what disease will play in that. We don't know what the coronavirus can end up being the biggest global wipeout since the Spanish influenza of 1917-18. We just don't know. Oh, thank you, Tom Finland. Said your Tahoe video was great. That was a re-upload of mine from October of 2017. I put that on the Rosie Murphy channel. I've had a lot of people request, Rosie, could we see some of your cinematic videos? And not everybody's going to go search for them. So I figured once in a while I'll put them up. I probably have about 25 of them altogether, and I will gradually be uh, re-uploading them so that you can enjoy. That was like a day in Lake Tahoe from early morning right on through to late night. Oh, of course, Dee, I'll help. But the thing I like about solar is let's face it, yeah, where are the bikini climb up there in big views? Look at some of my bikini RV washes and car washes. They get there's plenty of them with the well, no, I took all them down, I think. But D, it's fine. But I will tell you this. At the end of the day, all you're trying to do, get yourself an extra battery, hook it up in parallel with your existing battery, or get two batteries, hook them up in parallel, then get yourself a little, Harbor Freight has those, they're called portfolio solar panels. They just open up outside. You lay them out in the sun, and they just charge up the batteries during the day. It's such a good low tech solution for doing that. And then you can just run an inverter or something like that off the batteries, and it makes it so easy to do that. But if you want to do that, I'll be glad to help. People's grandkids will be supporting Elvis. Probably not. I'm not finding a lot of grandkids that really want to work these days. We go into the supermarket yesterday, Marshall and I, to pick up stuff for Rancho Kitchen Stadium last night, and literally, um, Marshall has seen the horrors of a city that is terribly underserved in every way. We have one DMV office for 200,000 people. Okay. All right, and it's a small rinky dink. When they closed it for remodeling, it's now operating out of a storefront in a shopping mall. Okay, I mean it's insane. You go into the supermarket, there's 500 people shopping on a Saturday. There's one line for self checkout with 4 or 5 different machines. You can't check alcohol through them. Okay, so if you want booze, you got to line up. And there's like 2 other lines open, and there's people lined up, no kidding, 25 deep with carts to check out. 25 deep. And he asked the manager, and he said, why don't you hire some cashiers? And the one told me the other day, well, if you can find one that's sober, that can pass a drug test, and is willing to come to work at 7 a.m. in the morning, by all means, I will hire them on the spot. And we'll start them at $18 an hour here at the store. But you know what? We can't find people that want to come in and do that. So, you know what's happening in the world? We've got automation beginning to do more and more and more and more. Catherine says, I want enough solar to run my Vitamix, my ice cream maker, my food processor, my Ninja Foodie, and my computer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're going to need a wind turbine. Jinx said, I'll self check out. All right. Jinx, I'll be glad to give you an examination, honey. Okay. So the reality is, it's really an inability to find people that want to work. The currency of today is it's social currency. It's how many people are following your Instagram, or how many people have liked your picture on Facebook. And if somebody trolls you, and particularly dangerous if you're a young gal, maybe impressionable, 12, 13, 14 years old, and you don't really have a sense of yourself, and you're very vulnerable psychologically to opinions of others, and somebody comes, "Oh my God, you're so ugly." I mean, this kind of stuff. I mean, we're rewriting the books of psychology here with this social media crap. Let's be real, okay? And it's put some people in a really, really, really bad place. Can you live on 18 bucks, huh? I don't know, Jinx. I could probably live on top of you pretty good. So, hey, John, how you doing? That's what I'm saying. Some things are coming. The currency is likes, and it's things like that. And it's you go into bars, it's quiet. People have their heads down on phones. Uh, I don't know if people are going to be able to relate anymore, and young people don't seem to care about jobs and working and things. So wind turbines a great idea, especially when driving down the highway at 65. Yeah, the village people. That's just my opinion, you know. So yeah, social currency. That's what it is. That's replaced the dollar, John. That's the thing, man. The social currency, the number of followers you have, the likes. You're only, can people go more than 5 minutes without checking their Facebook or checking their Twitter or it's scary. Yeah. You live on top of me all you're like, there's the Jinxie. Woo! There we are. We are in the Wild West. I mean, we are rewriting. We're writing a lot of new psychology here of how people relate to each other, and there's going to be a lot of people plowed under, and a lot of psychological issues. There's going to be a tremendous upsurge. I think we're already seeing it in things like depression, and and one of the hallmarks of depression is an inability or to get out of bed or to want to face the world or just feeling down all the time. And I think the internet has the ability to it has the ability to contribute to that, especially we're in an era where we build up icons on in within our own spheres, and then they get torn down in front of us, and we wonder, what can we count on anymore? What's true and what's bullshit? Yeah, they've hindered our ability to really communicate. Exactly. And that's right, Hop Frog. In school, I was the new kid every year, starting from kindergarten. I guess things on here don't seem to bother as much as it bothers us. I think so. But we're getting used to dealing with shocks, and I just think some people are not suited. I think for some people have discovered with sadly severe mental health challenges, have discovered that the internet is a great place to hang out, and I think it exacerbates a lot of the mental health challenges that they have, and they for good or bad on the internet. That's the most profound change I've seen over the last 7 years on YouTube. It's become such a magnet for people with all sorts of health and issues, and it's nice in a way that people can hang out, but it brings together a lot of instability into communities and things. So, yeah, I know that, Jinxie. I love you too, baby doll. Nothing is true here on the board. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we have to always be prepared for shock waves. I think it is, Catherine, and I think honest to goodness, hey Goldie, I think honest to goodness, so much of that stems from coping with the new world of the internet and the new world order. And I mean, I'm watching Cab 7 chimp out yesterday. 7 hours about having it up to here. You know, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Yeah, it's a lot going on. Let's see. D says, I believe Generation X, the best generation. I got to see the world before, and there was there for the pioneering of the PC and the internet. Well, for me, for me, the greatest generation was the generation that was born in the 1920s. The greatest generation that went on to fight depression, World War II, and all of that. They truly were the greatest, to me, the greatest generation, and the most unselfish generation too. Many here just looking for acceptance. Don't get off the net. That's true prepping. Predicting silver going to get to 30. Yeah, that's what I told John about. I told Brian was very depressed last night that he had loaded up on silver at $35 an ounce. And I told him when it reaches 35 an ounce, which it could do in very short order, don't be selling out at that point. Okay, I've seen so many people do that. They make a bad investment. They'll hold it for years on the downside, but the second they get back to even, they can't unload. They can't wait to unload it. Then they have the misery of seeing it go on to uh, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, $90, $100 an ounce, So, yeah, those folks had integrity, Zeus, and they went through hell, you know. So, to me that's a tremendous to me that's a real generation. And then the baby boomers, I had to live through all the hippies and all that crap, and that was a miserable time too. So silver was $50 an ounce in around 2008 or 2009. It was 1979-80 when the Hunt brothers cornered it in January of '80. It hit $50 an ounce, and it took until I believe 2008 or something in there to hit over 35. I think it spiked up to $50, but it's definitely going to be making its way higher. Okay, and it's not that silver's going up; it's the dollar's going down. Don't get it twisted, as Boris always says. Okay. Just make sure you understand what's really going down and what's holding its value in life. Some schools don't teach cursive. Um, Donna, back in the 1800s, they would teach long division using Roman numerals. Put the X down, carry the V, bring the I over, carry the M. Okay. And there were people very pissed off that they didn't continue learning long division with Roman numerals. Okay. Some things may not be for the worse. I mean, if you see some people's handwriting, it's terrible. Yeah, I can't even sign their name. Hey Charles, how you doing? Yeah, Atlas Shrugged is a good book. I think that was Ayn Rand. She also did there was also a movie, and that was Alan Greenspan's big hero was Ayn Rand, the famous political economist, philosopher. Anyway, I didn't mean to be in college class tonight. Professor Titty. Yeah, they said weed was a better currency than precious metal because you can smoke metal. There you go. Yeah, geometry is good. Lavender. It's one of those things you either grab it or you don't. You cannot push that into, because I asked Marshall, man, did you take mathematics in high school? Yeah, oh, I hated algebra and geometry and fuck that. And I'm telling him ax squared plus bx plus c, a linear equation, quadrilinear equation is the quadratic formula, negative b plus or minus the square root 4ac over 2a. He's just kind of looking at me with his eyes crossed on all that. So, yeah, Ayn Rand, that's it. So wonderful, very good philosophy. I'm definitely an adherent, Sean, to that philosophy. 2020 will be no better than 2018. We have the smoke and mirrors. Yeah, I think that's true, handyman Cam. I think that's it, RB Fat Cat. Uh, to me, I'm going to say that 2020 is going to be a brutal year. I feel it in my bones. It's going to be a brutal year. I don't know why. Um, there's going to be infrastructure challenges. I think that there's going to be big internet challenges. I think shit's gotten so complicated now that I was telling Marshall checking out at the grocery store. Could you imagine now if all these integrated checkout computers went down now? Everybody would just be standing around the grocery store with their thumb up their ass, waiting for the power to come back on and for all the cash registers to reboot again. Could you imagine that? Good Lord. Oh, that's nice, Lavender. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, it's going to be a brutal